Sometimes it's really good to be alive and know it. One thing about each of us, we're curious about life. Many of us are not satisfied with life, and all of us want to be satisfied with life. We want to be fulfilled, every last one of us. We were made that way. And sometimes we find that we are confused about a lot of things, which makes it difficult to be able to make the kind of choices that would benefit us perhaps as we would want it to. For instance, we talk about the physical, the material. We here today, this table, this coffee cup. And sometimes we want to dab with the spirit. We want to talk about those things that we can't see, but those things that causes what we do see to exist. For instance, the earth. We all know that we had nothing to do with this ground that we walk on. We all know we had nothing to do with this water that exists on this earth. We all know that there are things that exist that we had nothing to do with, not just as individuals, but as people. And those things we give the credit to God. But then we ourselves, people, we exist, we play a part in the process of our existing. We did not create, per se, humans. But being created as humans, part of our existence is having the ability to procreate. And that is from God. All of us here on earth is doing what God has permitted and allowed us to do. Now, God has credited each of us with some certain things that are made common amongst us, so we can know how essential certain things are for survival in these bodies on this earth during these times and at any time. For instance, you, my friend, for some strange reason have learned that in order to survive on this earth, you need food. You need food to survive on this earth. You know you do. And so that gives you the ability to understand and respect the fact that every human being on this earth walk around just like you. What I mean by you is it's physical, is alive, needs food, just like you. We need shelter to protect us from elements. We need shelter, someplace to be comfortable at. Sometimes people call it home. Well, let's just call it home. You need that. You do. Keep you out of the rain, out of the snow, from the things that you really are afraid of. Now, just the fact that you need that lets you know that every human being on the face of the earth needs that. This is God teaching you about your brothers, teaching you about your sisters, teaching you about fellow human beings, just like you, humans, just like you. You know that certain things you don't know causes you to make all kinds of mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes. And when you file those that learning, so that you can, if you forget or are not sure, you can go back and check out what you have filed and reassess what's going on. We call that the process of education. We know that when we're educated, we can understand how to do things, how to do them better, how to make them worthwhile. We know education works for us. So education works for you. You know it. And just as you know education works for you, it's God teaching you that every human being on the face of the earth benefits from education. Now, another is healthcare. Boy, you get sick, some pain comes somewhere, you need to get it taken care of. It's a doctor, a pill, or something. That's you. You know that every human being on the face of the earth can go through the same kind of thing that you're going through and would require and want and desire the same thing as you. God already told you that. You never seen these people before. You never seen the Russians. You never seen the Hawaiians. You never seen certain Africans. You never seen certain Asians. But you can bet your last money, every last one of them want food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, every last one of them. And now we recognize that the resources are available to take care of that. For who? Who needs it? Who wants it? Who desires it? That's what it's for. That's what it's for. Plain and simple, ladies and gentlemen. You know that God designed it so you can know that. Now, so how do you get that? The resources are here, but you recognize that there are certain individuals who have different interests. Some are interested in education, some are interested in medicine, some are interested in housing, some are interested in the various things that exist on this earth. People are interested in it because God has tapped them that way. Tap them that way so that there might be, not be, but might be, but is an interest, a stimulation, a motivation to cause people to go out there and make sure that you don't just want housing, but you got it. Make sure that you don't just want food, but you got it. Make sure that you don't just want education and healthcare, but you got it. Who got it? Everybody. Now, God is smart. God is fantastic. God knows how to do things. So God knows that in order for these things to exist in the abundance that will be required, that must keep you, the people who would benefit from it, involved in the process of maintaining it, the logistics of it. So you have desires, you have career ambitions. Yes, you. And those ambitions usually are led by your love for it. And when you tap into that which you have a love for, it will bring you the joy that only God can give and only God can take away. The world can't give it, the world can't take it away, but you tapped into the right thing. So now you got the joy that allows you to engage in the process of playing your role in life. That's every last one of you. Just like you, so does everyone else. Now you got God created this old earth, created you, the human beings, created you, the people, to exercise your gifts that you've got to to use the resources that God has made available to you so that you can meet all your wants, all your needs, and your desires, living in peace and be prosperous, free, joyous, and happy, and living your dreams. Never have to lie, cheat, steal, kill, hate, racism, bigotry, and none of that stuff. That's what God has prepared. But then there are those that will come away, come around, and they don't want you to have education, or they want some people to have education, or they don't want you to have housing, or they want some people to have housing, or they don't want you to have health care, or they just want some people to have health care. They don't want you to be prosperous. They want you to be poor, living in the ghetto. There are people that wants that to happen. And when you look around and see that happening, that means that God is asleep in you. That means God is asleep in you. Then some of you will say, well, God is awake in me, but I can't accomplish this. That's because God is asleep in you. Don't you ever say God can't, because God can. God can. And if you can't, that's because God is asleep in you. You see, you trying to listen to this here key over here with this enemy, this devil got you deceived, telling you that you will die because he'll promise you that he's going to kill you. But what he doesn't know is something that you don't know. Is that's the key that opens the door that leads you to the better part of your life. And especially since you have created that which the seed is made of. That's a secret to do God. Jesus said, for those of you who believe in Jesus, I am the way. So that's the secret, to do God to the extent that evil can't take it. That's birth, my friends. Don't be afraid of death. It is the opening door, especially now. If you be afraid of death if you're a crook. If you're a person around here walking around causing pain and suffering, if you are one that's walking around here being envious, hating, yeah, then you be afraid of death. You be afraid of death. But when you're doing righteous, baby, don't be afraid of death. Death is your friend. Death is your friend. Death is to protect you from people like who will fight, who Putin, who will fight wars, who will drop bombs on you and your kids. Death is to protect you from stuff like that. You say, well, death is death. No, my friend. Death is to those who don't know life. Those who don't know life. But for those who know that it's just a birth, you can't stop them anyway. Why? Because it's not them, it's the spirit in them. I wanted to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that when you know yourself, then that entitles you to know human beings. And when you know and respect human beings, that is an indication that you have had a full turn and you recognize and honor God. You recognize and honor God. And yet, we're living in a world of reality where we know that evil wants to destroy anything that robs it of its control over your lives. And so they institute the pain, they institute the suffering, they institute all of the stuff that you want to have nothing to do with. And its purpose is to get you. But the truth is to free you. The truth is to free you. Now, I recognize, ladies and gentlemen, the message that I've just given to you, to me, sounds like every last one of you should just be like a sponge that's thrown, a dry sponge thrown into water. It just absorbs all. It seems that you should have absorbed all of the stuff that I just shared with you because, baby, it will fill you up. But I know that's not going to happen. The message that I just shared with you, if enough people listen to it, I would say maybe a fraction of a fraction of 8%, not 1%, a fraction might be able to understand a little bit of it. But even though it should be embraced by all of you, it can't be embraced by most of you. Because like a sponge or something that's clogged up with other stuff like grease or calcium, calcium or some stuff like that, it just ain't gonna let no water in. And when you're living in this world just like this, that's what you're like. You're just like that sponge that ain't absorbing no water just yet. But for those few, that fraction, the message that I just shared is for you. The message that I just shared is for you. And for what I'm learning now is though I've been out here for so long and the world's still the same way it is, that is because the message that I'm bringing is not for the world. The world would benefit from it, but it's not for the world. Why? Because the world can't get it. The world can't get it. You know, when Jesus talked to the disciples, he told them certain things. He said, I share this with you, but not the world, because they can't get it. They can't get it. They too caught up in the evilness that the world grows on. Look around. I don't have to bite my tongue. Look at the wars. Look at the poverty. Look at the hatred. Look at this thing about people against people. Just think about it. All of that's evil. All of that's from hell. All of that's the devil. But who's talking about love? Who's talking about coming together? Who's talking about make sure everybody got the joys of life? Who's talking about that? They don't even talk about that in church. So who's talking? This means that we are living in hell, ladies and gentlemen. So you don't see that. Some of you might be saying, "Yeah, you're telling the truth," but you don't see that. You just saying that. If you saw that, you try to make sure that if this sucker burn up, if the bomb just explode, or implosion, boom, and the whole world just say whoop, you want to make sure that when it says whoop, you got it together. Well, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, for that remnant, thank God you're out here. Thank God for you.